All right, welcome, ZASLOW Show 2.0. It is a Thursday, the 12th of January. Good to have you aboard, however you're listening to us today. It could be on iTunes or Amazon, Google, Spotify. I can't list all the places. We'll be here forever, but wherever you get your podcasts, of course, ZASLOW Show 2.0 is available. Maybe you're watching me right now. You're checking out this putum right here on the youtube.com/ZASLOW Show. However you're listening, make sure you leave a comment, hit the like button, rate it, give me, I want more than 5 stars. Find a way to put 1,000 stars, right? As many stars as you can put for the show. That's always good for the algorithm. The algorithm's so important. I don't know how it works, but it's so important. And that gets me all the monies. So make sure you do all that good stuff. And of course, ZASLOW Show 2.0, now on the Blue Wire Podcast Network. This is day number 2 on Blue Wire. I'm so excited that those guys wanted me. I love being here with them, so appreciate that. And, you know, if we're getting some new listeners, then welcome, all right? I'll let you guys a long time as well. You'll get used to the show. You can hit me up at ZASLOW Show on Twitter, at ZASLOWJ on Instagram, where, of course, I'm an influencer, but I love getting involved with you guys there as well. Love the interaction, so make sure you get at me there. And everything ZASLOW Show 2.0 is always presented by our title sponsor from day number 1. My guys, my friends at Anidjar and Levine Accident Attorneys. If you got a personal injury, if you're dealing with an accident, make sure that you let them get you the money that you deserve. 800-747-FREE. That's 800-747-3733. If you're dealing with an injury from an accident, you got to let them take care of that part so you can take care of yourself. You get healthy, you get better, and let them get you the money that you deserve. You'll get an attorney on the phone immediately. 800-747-3733. So, the big news of the day, we got a great show planned for it. I mean, my staff has put together a big-time show. Great show planned for today. We got another night where we're hoping for a double dip. We had a double dip a couple nights ago. Everybody knows that's when the Heat and the Panthers both win on the same night. You got a chance at that tonight. It's going to be a late night, though, if you want to partake in the double dip, all right? You got the Heat hosting Milwaukee tonight. You got the Panthers at Vegas. So you got 7:30 Heat. You got 10 p.m. Panthers. It's a late night with the Cats, all right? And this is one of those deals. All right, if I'm going to be up till 12:45 watching the Panther game, you better have a shot to win. Like, there's no way going into the third period, Panthers are down 4-1. I'm sticking with that game. All right, so come on. And this is coming off of a helter-skelter type victory a couple nights ago for the Panthers at the Colorado Avalanche. The Las Vegas Knights, different animal. Great team this year. They're always good. Ever since their inaugural year when they made the Stanley Cup Finals and lost to Washington, they're always good, the Vegas Knights. I'm a little bit jealous. Anyway, so Panthers, Heat Bucks tonight. So yesterday I got an update. You know, the Heat are playing the 2 straight home games against the Milwaukee Bucks this week. You got tonight against the Bucks, and you got Saturday against the Bucks, Saturday afternoon. I love when the league does that. I think you should do it more often. You know, you got the players. The NBA player loves 2 things more than anything else: to complain and to not play. Well, number 1, they should get rid of back-to-backs. But also, limit the travel. And the way that you limit the travel is this. Milwaukee, this is one less trip they have to take. They're playing both games in Miami on one trip. That's perfect. And I don't know if a couple nights ago, I don't think they played Orlando, or maybe they have Orlando coming up, but it should just be, you should get all 4 Florida games out of the way in one trip. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. So you got the Bucks tonight, but I do have an update. So I told you guys yesterday, I was trying to go. Yup. I was trying to go. I was trying to go to Heat Bucks on Saturday afternoon. It's a 1 p.m. game. Now everybody knows where I'm trying to go. That means I'm looking for the hookup. That means I want someone to hear and set me up with the tickets. So I was trying to go yesterday to Heat Bucks. And guess what? Your boy's going. Your 2-time champion broadcaster back in the Heat's house. I don't know what it's called, though, because there was a ruling yesterday that it's no longer going to be called FTX Arena. The judge ruled. The county, was suing or what have you. I don't know all the legalese that was involved there. But yesterday, a judge ruled FTX got to be taken down. So I wonder if that's going to be the case tonight, or if it'll be in time for Saturday. I don't know what it's called. They should call it Miami Arena. We should go back to Miami Arena. So I don't know what the building is called, but I will be there on Saturday. So Saturday, your boy, he was trying to go, and I love it. I'm taking the whole crew, the whole ZASLOW family, the 4 of us. We are going to the Heat game on Saturday afternoon, and guess what? This is the first time ever that I'll have been to a Heat game with my entire family. Yep, true story. That's crazy, right? First time ever. Now, the first game I went to this year, I've been to 2 games. I saw them beat Toronto and lose to Indiana. The game against Toronto was the first time, not only, of course, that was the first time I've been to a Heat game as a fan in 13 years, but it was the first game I had ever been to with my son, with my older son. I've been to many Heat games with my wife. We had season tickets. I've still never been to a game with my younger son. And of course, that would mean that I've never been to a game with my entire family. So this weekend, this Saturday afternoon, first time I'll have ever been to a Heat game with my entire family. As a fan, of course, because they've been the 3 of them, and I've been working when I was on the broadcast. Of course, I'm not on the broadcast anymore. This will be the first time that I've been to a Heat game as a fan with my entire family. Looking forward to it. That's going to be a lot of fun. Now, tonight, Bam Adebayo is upgraded to probable. Jimmy's fine. Oladipo, he's fine. Oh, man, he's back. And Tyler Hero is out. I think Lowry is also out, but that's a good thing. He's a net negative. So you got a really tough spot tonight against the Milwaukee Bucks without Tyler Hero this evening. But I really like the way the Heat have been playing. So this really is kind of a test for the Heat. Yes, you want them to come out of this game with a win, but I think it's more important for them to play well and to be in this game. It's tough to beat the team that I think is going to come out of the East, the Milwaukee Bucks. It's tough to beat a team like that when you're not 100%. Tough to beat a team like that when you're out Tyler Hero. But I like the way the team's been playing. If they could wind up being in this game tonight, then I think you could leave the game feeling good. You do want to get a split one way or the other with these 2 games. You can't ask for both of them. To win both games against the Bucks, you're asking for a lot. They'll get you, you'll get them, or the other way around. Whether it's tonight, I hope it's Saturday afternoon. But either way, you're looking for a split in these 2 games. The team's been playing well. I like the way they've been playing. I especially like what's going on with Victor Oladipo. So you got a fun one tonight. Double dip's going to be tough. Competition is very, very stiff. Heat, Bucks, Panthers, Vegas Knights. We got a great show today, all right? We're going to talk to Hollywood Joy Taylor. That's right. Joy Taylor's going to stop by on ZASLOW Show 2.0. We haven't had her on the show in at least a month. Yeah. She was on the show like early on when we launched ZASLOW Show 2.0. So we'll get my former co-host, love that girl, Joy Taylor. She will stop by on the show. We'll talk some Dolphin football with her because that's the main story today. We found out yesterday Tua Tagovailoa, even though it was just Wednesday, officially ruled out for the game this weekend. So Tua's out. He has not cleared any concussion protocol. It's been, 18 days now? I'll get right back to that. The other big story that's going on right now, and we touched on this yesterday, what's going on with WWE? Is WWE about to be sold? Are the Saudis about to buy WWE? It turns out, because now we're another 24 hours removed, it seems to be fake news. And I said that yesterday because I was getting messages on Twitter. Hey, is this true, ZASLOW? Reports are out there that WWE has been bought by the Saudis. As fake news, all right? I knew it was fake news. It's too quick, all right? Way too fast for that to happen. So we're gonna continue to get into a little bit of that. We're gonna have wrestling insider John Alba. He will join the show coming up a little bit later, and we'll do some WWE. He's been all over this story, so we'll find out what's going on there. Potential sale. If the rumors were true and it just hasn't happened yet, I think it's fake news. It may end up happening, but for now, I think that's fake news. So we'll talk some WWE about maybe the biggest story in the history of pro wrestling. We'll talk about that with John Alba coming up later on in the program. Okay, so before we get Joy on the show here, let's get to the Dolphins. So we find out yesterday that Tua Tagovailoa, he has been ruled out. We knew that was going to be the case, but he's been ruled out as of already Wednesday. And pretty depressing press conference there from Mike McDaniel yesterday. The rest of the guys in the locker room who were spoken to, not exactly an upbeat atmosphere. And Mike McDaniel lets you know, he doesn't name Skylar Thompson the quarterback while ruling Tua out, but he lets you know it's going to be really difficult for Teddy to take very many first-team reps. So, look, you're practicing for a playoff game here. Whoever got the first-team reps yesterday, that's going to be the quarterback. So, Skylar Thompson, he's going to be getting the first-team reps all week. And if you're a Dolphin fan, you feel like shit upon hearing that news about Tua yesterday because you got no chance. You got no chance. Like, I'm sorry if the Dolphin fan, it doesn't make you a good fan to think they're going to win no matter what. It makes you a dope. I'm sorry if the Dolphin fan doesn't want to hear me say that 3 days before the game. The Dolphins are going to get smoked this weekend. You know, last night I was on VSiN Primetime last night from out in Vegas. You can go check that out. I linked to it last night on my Twitter. I was on VSiN. You know, that's the sports betting network, which is all over. They got a bunch of stations all over the country. So I was on VSiN Primetime last night. I appreciate Tim Murray for inviting me there. You can go watch the video. I was on for about 10 minutes last night, and we were talking about the Dolphins. Like I said, I retweeted it last night. I linked a clip and everything, so you can go check that out. I was representing Miami. I was representing ZASLOW Show 2.0. You know what I'm talking about. Now part of the Blue Wire Podcast Network. So I was on with those guys, and just, I told them straight up, Dolphins are going to get smoked this weekend. It's going to be a bloodbath. And like I said, it doesn't make me a bad Dolphin fan. It doesn't make you a bad Dolphin fan for feeling that way. It just makes you realistic. And I don't even think it's so much about, I mentioned this a couple days ago, it's not even as much about not giving the Dolphins respect. It's more about, and I hate the Buffalo Bills, but it's more about the Bills going into this season. Many people would have made the argument are the best team in the National Football League. Well, a team that might be the best team in the National Football League is taking on another team who is starting their third-string quarterback this weekend. Like, let's be fair. It's okay to admit that the Dolphins are going to get smoked this weekend. They just scored 9 points against the Jets. This ain't the Jets this weekend. This is the Bills. This is on the road. This is playoffs. They're going to get annihilated this weekend. 13.5 points was the last time that I saw the number. I don't believe the Dolphins are going to cover that. I think the Bills have a whole team of destiny thing going. You know, we all know why. The entire country is rooting for the Bills, except for Dolphin fans. We're the enemy now this weekend. Nobody wants us to win. We're the bad guys rooting against the Bills and Damar Hamlin. We're the bad guys. We're them. We're the only ones. We're the bad guys. It is what it is. And the worst part about it, and I mentioned this last night on VSiN Primetime. Think about this. The Dolphins, they make the playoffs every 6 to 8 years. It's been 6 years since they made the playoffs. 8 years before that. Dolphins make the playoffs every 6 to 8 years. Now the last 2 times that they've made the playoffs, this year and 2016, our starting quarterbacks are Skylar Thompson and Matt Moore. That sucks. Sucks. It's such bad luck. You got no chance. The last 2 times the Dolphins are in the playoffs, it's Skylar Thompson and Matt Moore. It's like you feel cursed. You don't have a shot. Matt Moore in 2016 got killed by the Steelers. And Skylar Thompson this year, I got news to you. This Bills team much better than that Steelers team. And now the Bills, they're going to take out a lot of frustration on the Dolphins. And you go from what felt like the best season of your life to, at 8-3, you felt like we were having the best season of your life. It was so exciting. I messaged a friend of mine at one point. After they were 8-3, 7-3, 8-3, whatever it was at the time. Dolphins Super Bowl? Question mark. It's the first time I've ever texted anything like that in my life. Because, texting only became a thing in 02, 03, 04-ish. Dolphins haven't been a Super Bowl contender any years since then. First time I've ever sent a text message like that. And in that same season, it just feels like we're marching toward a slow death on Sunday afternoon. And it's a huge bummer. Again, wait 6 years to make the playoffs for it to be our backup quarterback again. And there is nothing that you've seen from Skylar Thompson this entire season that he's played, the few games that he's played. There's nothing that you've seen that would make you think that he's capable of putting up, putting up significant points to keep up with this Bills team. This Bills team, who, by the way, the Dolphins played a great game the first time they beat the Bills. Man, that game was awesome. That first game against the Bills where both teams were 2-0. That game was the tits. That was a great game. But that Dolphin defense was so much better at the time. For one, Xavier Howard didn't look washed. And then you had Nick Needham. You had Brandon Jones. You had Emmanuel Ogbah. You didn't have Bradley Chubb, but it's not as if Bradley Chubb's been a big difference maker yet. Bradley Chubb's probably not going to play this weekend. Raheem Mostert's not playing this weekend. Teron Armstead's probably not playing this weekend. It isn't just about Tua. It's mostly about Tua, but it's not just about Tua. And they got no chance. You can't win at Buffalo when you're not, when you're not fully healthy, and you also are on your third string quarterback. If Teddy Bridgewater were playing, who I don't love, but if Teddy Bridgewater were playing, I think you have a chance. With Tua, I would go out there and say, you know what, we're going to win. But Skylar Thompson, now he gets smoked. They got smoked. And it sucks. I don't know any other way to put it. It sucks. And so I've been seeing a lot of this as well. We're going to feel so shitty after the game on Sunday. Because, I think Mike McDaniel's done a nice job this year. I don't think he's been perfect. We'll talk to Joy about this as well. We'll see what she thinks. But I would have said going into the season, Mike McDaniel's job before making the playoffs, because plenty of Dolphins, Adam Gase made the playoffs in his first year as coach. Tony Sparano made the playoffs in his first year as coach. It's not about making the playoffs necessarily. It's about long-term success. It's not about making the playoffs in your first year as coach and then never getting back and then getting fired. It's about long-term success. And that's why going into this season, the goal for Mike McDaniel was what? It was to find out if you have a quarterback. The goal was to find out you have a quarterback before making the playoffs. Like I just said, you want long-term success. We've seen first-year head coaches here make the playoffs and then do nothing. The goal for Mike McDaniel, his first job when he gets here, is to find out if he has a quarterback. And he did. Found out. Now we're going to go into an offseason where we still kind of don't know, but that's because of injury. That's because of concussions, and Mike McDaniel can't do anything about that. Nobody can do anything about that. Can't control that. But as far as the actual level of play, as far as the talent, yep, we found out Tua can play with the best of them. So Mike McDaniel accomplished his number one job going into his first year. That was number one job in his first year. His job overall was to win a Super Bowl, but not his first year. So in his first year, he accomplished the most important job, which was find out if Tua is a quarterback in this league. And then he also made the postseason. That's a bonus. So I don't think Mike McDaniel, I don't think he's without his flaws. We were critical of him on Monday. I was. But why does a first-year coach have to be a finished product? First-year quarterback's not a finished product. Look at Tua. So Mike McDaniel has done his job this year, and I think Mike McDaniel gets passing grades. But the worst part about it is, we're still going to feel shitty at the end of the season. We're going to feel shitty after the game on Sunday because we're still going to wonder. We're going to be back to wondering if we have a quarterback. That's what this offseason is going to be. We're going to get smoked in the wildcard game, and you're going to still be wondering if we have a quarterback. And as a result, right now, you're a Dolphin fan. Do you feel like the Dolphins are in the playoffs? I should make that a poll question for tomorrow, actually. Do you feel like the Dolphins are in the playoffs? Because if all things were equal, today, Thursday, going into Sunday, Super Wildcard weekend, we should be super excited about the Dolphins being back in the playoffs. Are you super excited about the Dolphins being back in the playoffs? because I feel like we're marching toward a slow death. I'm more bummed at the way this season is going to end on Sunday than I am excited about being back in the playoffs. And that's the disappointing part, is we feel like I don't feel like they're in the playoffs. I don't feel like they have a chance. We don't actually get to see our team. That's the thing. We don't actually get to see our team. And again, not just Tua. It's Armstead, Chubb, Mostert. Hill's banged up. You got so many guys who are out or might not play. We don't get to see our team. It doesn't feel like we're in the playoffs. We should be excited right now. And instead, it's just a bummer. Man, it sucks. All right. Like I said, though, the Heat, they're back in action tonight. So are the Panthers. Hey, if you're not feeling great, like I'm not feeling good right now, but that's about the Dolphins. But if you're not feeling good right now because you might be getting sick, well, what if I told you you could make one phone call, 786-577-9302. You could make one phone call, and you could have a doctor come to your home and treat you. The comfort of your home. Well, that's Doctors on Call 365. South Florida's urgent care that comes to you. Wherever you are, your home, your office, wherever you at. You don't have to get up. You got 103 fever. You got to get in the car and drive to the emergency room. No. You don't need to do that. You don't need to sit there at the urgent care and wait for hours. And then your co-payment is going to be more than you would pay for Doctors on Call 365 to come to your home. Doctors on Call 365, serving all of Broward County, Miami-Dade, Southern Palm Beach as well. The price, look, it's self-pay right now, but the convenience and avoiding emergency rooms, urgent care, and having the doctor come to your home to treat you, it's priceless for me. DoctorsOnCall365.com. You need IV fluids, you need vitamin therapy, COVID, flu, strep test, blood drawn, prescription filled. DoctorsOnCall365.com. You'll get someone on the phone 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Take care of yourself. 786-577-9302.